Hello and welcome to another edition of A Better Life. I'm Dr. Fry, and I tell you what, we've had a lot of people writing into us lately and asking us all what's going to be happening for the fall and how do they get on the show. And we want you to know how to get on the show, because if you've got something that you want to share with people that you think will help them have a better life, that's what this show is all about. So you can reach us several different ways. On the screen right now, of course, is the first way. That would be the best to look at us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, win prizes. We give away dinner. Matter of fact, Icky Bond's getting ready to reopen. We're still looking for the best love story for somebody to tell us how they met their spouse or the love of their life. Send that in to us, and we'll be judging those. So when they have their grand reopening in July, somebody will be going to the grand reopening. And there's other ways to reach us too, of course. Emailing is the best. Email me at WLFT.com, and I will be glad to share your story with everybody, because we've got a big mouth here on WLFT. All right, speaking of people who do something that you should know about, today on the show with me from Key Recovery Solutions is a lady by the name of Kathy with a K, Ferguson. Welcome, Kathy, to the show. Hey, Kathy, before we get into exactly what your secrets are for helping people save money with the Internal Revenue Service, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, actually, I was born in Texas. I was born in San Angelo, and I lived in Gainesville, Abilene, Midland, Houston, Wilson, North Dakota, Hobbs, New Mexico. Basically, my dad was in the oil.
Gotcha.
So as you can see, I'm from Texas. I moved over here to Louisiana. I met my husband at LSU. Been married 26 wonderful years to a great man.
I must say you have fantastic looking eyeglasses, as I do too.
Certified optician.
There you go. Yeah. And it's funny, you know, networking is something people pay a lot of money to go to different places and meet with groups and say, hey, you know, I want to pass out my business cards and stuff like that. But if we just open our mouth when we're out, you know, buying a pair of eyeglasses, we'll meet someone interesting, which is how we met. And that brings us to what you do. Now, just what gave you the idea, and where in the world did cost segregation come from?
Well, actually, I got into the financial services back in the 80s, and I've been doing that for over 27 years. I work with people like I'm a liaison for the New Orleans Dental Association. I work with dentists and doctors and helping them. I'm a cash flow consultant.
Okay.
So what I do is I help them in many different ways, but the service we're going to talk about today is how to pay less to the IRS.
Okay.
And the way that I got involved in that is for the last 7 years now, I've been involved with helping them in this way. What cost segregation is that what you're asking?
Mm-hmm.
Is how
Sure.
it works? Okay. Cost segregation is a service that is actually an IRS approved, engineer based, and it's AICPA recommended. What
that means nothing.
It's a tax strategy.
Okay.
And what that tax strategy does is allows you to accelerate your depreciation. So instead of waiting 39 years on a commercial property, you can now do that inside of it in 5 years and the outside in 15 years.
Does this work the same way for like rental property? If I buy a rental property and go up and down?
So
yeah.
if, you know, any type of commercial property, even if it's a home that you're leasing out for rental, it could be, you know, office building. You don't even have to own the property. You could just lease it. You could be in a strip mall and you went in and did a build out.
Right.
And as long as you own that renovation, then you can take advantage of this and you can actually apply cost segregation.
So what is the savings? I mean, just throw out some numbers, basically how it would work.
Like one of my, a good way that would work, like on $1 million property, we can usually save $80,000 to $100,000, you know, so if we can have properties as small as $250,000. One of my favorite stories I love to tell is the one where we did a property in Mississippi. They had a $250,000 building. We ended up saving them a tremendous amount of money, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But what it came out to was for a very good return on investment, we ended up getting them, you know, for like $2,000, we ended up saving them $29,000.
Okay, so the way this works is basically you're rapidly depreciating the value of the property with the IRS as far as taking the depreciation quicker rather than waiting.
What we're going to do is we're going to actually go in and reclassify those components. So what we're going to do is your CPA is already doing your furniture, fixture, and equipment.
Sure.
And so what we're going to do is come in and say that crown molding, that wainscoting, all the things that are attached to the wall, ceilings, and floors, special wiring, special plumbing, all of those now qualify to be changed and reclassified to a 5-year life versus a 39-year life. So if you've already owned that building 5 years, well, right now it's fully depreciated. You don't have to wait. You know, think of your viewers. Where are they going to be in 39 years?
Right.
You know? So when the IRS says you can have your money today, it's best to get that money today.
Oh,
reinvest
absolutely.
it back into your business. And that's your best return on investment. Because then you can expand, or you can do more improvements, or you can go buy more property. buy new equipment and improve your own business.
So this basically only works with real property, though.
It's only going to work with the, like if someone who owns a commercial property and we're going to we're going to reclassify it.
I got you.
Yeah.
So renovations and everything that you do to a property, when you this is another way of rapidly of getting that money back as far as in tax write-off.
So in other words, it'll actually end up, let's say that you had someone that is paying $20,000 a quarter in estimated taxes.
Yes.
And we ended up saving them $80,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's 4 quarters they won't be paying the IRS.
Absolutely.
So they can take that $20,000 each quarter and put it back in their own business. And let's say they just renovated. Well, they can pay off that note that they just spent to do that renovation.
Okay, so let's in the closing minute, let's just look at a person who typically has a $250,000 house, and they've got it leased out. They're leasing, they're renting it out, and they've built them a new home, and they're getting $1,000 a month for that $250,000 house, and the house they still owe $50,000 on that they're paying off. What strategy do you recommend to them?
So you're saying if they're an investor who's leasing out homes?
Right. They bought a new home, so now they took their old home and they're renting it out, using it as commercial property.
Right. So all those renovations that they did on that home, maybe when they, before they did decide to start leasing it out,
right,
they can take all that income that they are now not having to pay the IRS,
right,
and we're going to lower their taxable income. So not only, so like with the dentists and the doctors, that I'm working with, veterinarians, what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll actually save them money on their taxes, but we'll lower their taxable income.
I see.
It's just like getting another expense. It's what we're doing is just giving them that acceleration.
Well, I appreciate you sharing this information with us today on the show. And on the screen, of course, you have seen several ways to get hold of her. And Ms. Ferguson will be glad to talk your company into saving more money when it comes to the Internal Revenue Service. Hey, that's what the show's all about, having a better life. Speaking of better life, when we come back, we've got the man who invented the stun gun for your iPhone case. You'll want to stay tuned as we find out how to electrify your experience if you happen to get in a circumstance you don't want to be in. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors, people who care about a better life.
What are people saying about their Easy Bath walk-in tub?
I had a regular tub, and it was very hard for me as an amputee to push myself up and get out of the tub.
Easy baths equal easy solutions for worry-free bathing.
I watched her get in and out of that tub a few times, and I would try to help her get in or out of the tub, and that didn't work too well. And so I said, there's got to be a better way.
Easy Baths of Louisiana sells the highest quality walk-in tub with low interest financing. Easy Bath walk-in tubs exclusive stainless steel and glass door, dual massage therapy, and inline water heater. Easy Baths, a local company with excellent customer service. Call right now for your free in-home consultation and your $750 discount.
Welcome back to A Better Life. I'm Dr. Fry, and as we go into our second segment, I promise something that definitely will be stunning to your life, and really the man behind the product is quite unique. And so over the next 15 minutes, we're going to talk to him and about his product and what all they're doing at his company. Please welcome to the show, Sean Simoni.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I said it right. How about that?
Thanks for having me.
Sean, where are you from?
I am actually originally from Mandeville, Louisiana.
Mandeville, Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
And what did you grow up aspiring to do?
To be honest, I always kind of questioned authority, so I think entrepreneurship just kind of fit right into my, my plans.
Yes, I'm totally on page with you. I tell you. Now you graduated.
I graduated from high school in '07, then came up here for LSU. So ended up in Baton Rouge through the typical LSU route. Graduated in 2011 with a business degree from the School of Agriculture, actually.
Cool. So
yeah.
you like horticulture?
Well, I mean, it was honestly because I was doing so much activities, started Sense, was running a business. They said, hey, you can get a business degree from the agriculture program, and it's not as hard as a business college. So I said, all right, well, I'm doing so much other stuff, right, that, I can actually, get this business degree and still manage my businesses. So that's kind of the route I went. I was interested in biofuels, and that was kind of what sparked my interest in the School of Agriculture. But now I'm doing technology, so,
and in a big way. If you don't mind, we're going to take a second to roll a video here and let people kind of understand what we're talking about. Okay? So we'll get this to play on the screen for you.
This is Seth Froome with Yellow Jacket. I'm going to show you how to properly discharge the stun gun portion of your Yellow Jacket case. To discharge your Yellow Jacket unit, begin by pulling down on the indention located on the electrode safety cap. Once you pull back on this, press the safety switch up and then press the blue light in order to activate your unit. You then have a defense unit at your fingertips. Replace the electrode cap simply by pressing it up and pressing the safety switch back down. Now you know how to properly discharge the stun gun portion of your Yellow Jacket case. Thank you very much for watching, and be sure you are always prepared.
All right. I tell you what, that kind of got everybody's attention.
Yes, sir.
What in the world? Is it true? That's what sparked you guys to create it?
Yes, this is a real product. We invented this back in August of 2011, and have one in my hand right here, our black models. And basically formed out of a real life situation. My business partner and best friend, Seth Froome, was robbed at gunpoint in his home right here off of the Highland and Starring area. And a few weeks later, he was, how could I have changed this situation? Well, the only point where I had the opportunity to turn the tables on the attacker was when he asked for me to hand the phone. And so what if I put a weapon system around the phone, and thus our journey began.
That is so wild. Did you, and I've got to ask this, I mean, a guy invents a gun or invents something that's going to hurt someone. What was your first, I mean, how did you overcome that as far as liability?
Right.
In your own mind.
So that's always the first question people ask is, well, it's liability, it's a weapon, aren't you scared? And there's I really package all of that as an entrepreneur into just one category as risk. And in any business, there's risk associated with it. But if that reward, if there's an opportunity there to save people's lives, right? For me to learn, for us to make money, for employ people, all of these rewards were so much greater than the risk in my mind. And so we were willing to pursue
That's
that
wild.
endeavor. Yep.
That's wild. Okay, you got a bit of good news you wanted to share with them on the show
right.
today.
So we recently got certified by Apple, made for iPhone certification, and we're super excited about that. Basically what that means is there's only a very small amount of companies that have the made for iPhone certification, and we actually get to use the official lightning and chargers and the connectors that Apple provides for us. It's going to greatly increase the quality and consistency of our product, and right now we're actually going through testing by Apple to make sure that we meet all of their standards. Once we finish that testing, we'll be back on the shelves at Academy and selling on our website. So we're super excited about that. And Apple has partnered with us, and they said, you know what? We see this as a good thing. We see this as a public safety tool, as a tool for law enforcement. And so we're excited that they see it the same way we do.
Well, I have several friends that have developed apps for Apple, and I know what hoops they jump through. I can just imagine what you guys had to go through for this.
Exactly.
And then, of course, the nice thing about it is, and we're friends, you'll be able to share the i6 with us before anybody.
There you go. We'll come on the show.
There you go, because you'll have it before anybody has it.
That's right.
That's really cool. That's really cool. What's the plans for the future now that Apple is on board? I know that had to be an obstacle for you.
Right.
What are you looking at next?
That's a great question. There's always more that we're looking at. Basically, we've really said, what if we made a law enforcement model? And that's really one of the conversations we've had with Apple is, can we make a law enforcement model that has a higher voltage and amperage and really has that takedown power and can be a backup or a complement to their gun or to their taser? And so we're pursuing that right now, a basically increased amperage and using an alternating current, a different type of current for our technology. As well as we're working on some Android models. So we have not forgotten about the Android users.
Yeah, there's nobody out there.
Yeah, right. We have the Samsung Galaxy S3, Samsung Galaxy S4. So we'll have 4 models on the market by this Christmas. So we're really excited about that.
Now, where are you manufacturing at?
We're manufacturing overseas, right? So we're in China. And we really found a great partner out there that basically makes stun guns. So we found people that really knew this technology inside and out. And we got them to basically be a little bit flexible and say, can you make that technology fit around an iPhone? Right. And so that's really the difference in the change that they've made over there. And we really found some great manufacturing partners. And since then, we've actually grown to a couple facilities. And so we're not just using one, but a few now. and eventually, maybe bring it back over to North America when it makes sense for us. But our first focus is the quality of the product. If we can do that, in different parts of the world, then we will. And since we're employing close to 10 people here in Louisiana.
Sure.
We've added jobs locally.
Sure,
so
you
we're
have.
excited about that.
When we come back, we will be talking to you about scents and that whole other idea that you had and how it will affect you. And plus, we'll ask some questions about if you're thinking about dealing with people overseas, then maybe you want to find out some of the tips that hoops they jumped through in order to protect their product before it got out of the hands of America. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with after a word from our sponsors of A Better Life.
Hey, Baton Rouge and surrounding areas. It's your friend Jay, and I'ma tell you true. If you want the best crawfish in town, you have got to go by the Crawfish Crib, located at 7869 Greenwell Springs Road and 9836 Florida Boulevard. Holler at Henry and ask him to hook you up with that Gold Rush garlic butter sauce on your crawfish and your crab legs, y'all. It's good. Have a good time.
Welcome back to A Better Life. I'm Dr. Fry, and with me, of course, is Sean Simone with the Yellow Jacket Stun Gun. But he's more than that, too. A little bit later, before we finish the show, I am going to show another video. But Sean promised to talk to me about scents. Now, scents is something I went and experienced for the first time this past week. It's a group of people that come together, maybe on a monthly basis. Am I guessing right?
Yeah, monthly basis.
And basically share ideas, share information to try and network. And where did that idea come from?
That's a great idea. So that idea came from me, right? And so Yellow
Jacket came from you.
Right, exactly. So I wish the Yellow Jacket, came from me, but that was from Seth. But this idea did when I was actually 19 years old. I believe a sophomore at LSU. I came to a couple mentors of mine and said, hey, what if, why isn't there a place where people can go pitch their business idea and get feedback and get, capital for it? Now, I originally had the idea of just a business plan competition or, get $500 or $1,000. They said, well, Sean, the money's good, but what if they could build that network? What if they could get the feedback? And thus the Sense journey began in 2009. And here we are in 2013. We've done 16 pitch nights, just as many social events.
Explain what pitch night is, because
800
I haven't been to one of those yet. What is that?
Exactly. So many people are the best way to explain is if they're familiar with the show Shark Tank. And so Shark Tank is basically an ABC show where someone walks into a room. You have the sharks, which are the investors. You have Mark Cuban and people like that sitting up there, and they have 3 minutes or so to pitch their invention idea, their product, their concept, their service-based business to get their investment money. We kind of changed that up a little bit and created one for Baton Rouge where people could come in and they have 10 minutes to explain their business and pitch, and then we have a panel of sharks or experts that would either A, give feedback, or B, potential investment dollars on the spot. And then also we incorporated the audience component where the local community, Baton Rouge, could come see the newest ideas and ask questions to get more information on those ideas.
That's wild. That's wild. So the type of people that are showing up to qualify for pitch night, I guess you can't just let everybody walk in the door up on stage. How does people submit or whatever for that?
That's a great question. So people can submit through our website, sensebr.org, right? Just like common sense, sensebr.org. And what we, on some pitch nights we have 10 people submit. We've had up to 40, and it depends. There's different industries. So we usually don't like to limit it by industry. Sometimes we have a themed pitch night where we will say, hey, only people from, say, the film industry or food. Right. But usually it's an open call. And really the most important thing is that you have material. You have to have a business plan, an executive summary, and what we call a deck or a PowerPoint to be able to put all of your ideas concisely into one document.
Yeah, I have a lot of people come to us, of course, wanting a television show.
Right.
Much like what you're dealing with, of course. And I always tell you, go back, work on the concept, write a script, give me an arc, where's the show going over the season? Because as investors, you don't want to lay money out for just an idea. Everybody's got an idea.
Right.
But people with the ability to hone the idea and make it to where it can be presented properly to get the proper investment to make it happen is the reality of life.
Exactly.
So you help people achieve that.
Yes, our group has helped people achieve that. Many people. We have over 800 members now that have signed up on our website, and it's a 501c3 nonprofit. Right now, membership's currently free to join. In the future, we may actually have paid membership levels, so now's the time to join. And we will continue to do monthly events. So we're really excited, and with the most important thing we provide is that network, and then through that network, you get the education you need.
Sure. When is the next pitch night?
So right now we have a plan to do a summer social. So we're
Okay.
going to do a social probably late June, early July,
Okay.
and then the next round of pitch nights will start again in late August, early September. So if you have an idea, if you're potentially looking for capital, then be prepared to submit your summary, your business plan.
We'll
in
definitely
August.
We'll definitely want to get our cameras out and capture some
There
of
you
that.
go.
With your permission, of course. Let's go to another video. This is
Some
one that's a couple
smartphone
minutes long.
cases
Let's look at
just
this.
protect your phone. Others try to extend your battery life. A few have even tried to protect you, the user. But how great would it be if there was a case so intuitive, so powerful, that it could do all three? Introducing Yellow Jacket, the world's first stun gun smartphone case. It protects your phone, extends your battery life, and most importantly, it protects you. Yellow Jacket's patented design is so convenient. As with any phone case, you'll have it with you all the time. But with a Yellow Jacket case, you're just a switch away from being prepared when you need it most. With 650,000 volts of power at your fingertips, studying, going out, running, shopping, and living your life just got much safer. Stunning, right? But Yellow Jacket doesn't just give you peace of mind, it gives you more. More texts, more calls, more tweets, posts, photos, or emails. You won't have to worry about missing a moment. When you need that extra battery power, Yellow Jacket's built-in charger keeps you going for up to a full day's charge. But what's a phone case if it doesn't protect your phone first? If you're anything like us, you want to preserve that expensive gadget of yours. Drops, scratches, cracks, and bumps are threats no more. Yellow Jacket's high-quality polymer shell and durable design allow you to live life worry-free. When you drop your smartphone, relax. You're good to go, every time. We've gone to great lengths to make something truly revolutionary for smartphone cases. Something as savvy as it is practical, as attractive as it is functional, and as powerful as it is subtle. With Yellow Jacket in your pocket, you and those you love most can experience the comfort of a backup battery, excellent protection for your smartphone, and most importantly, a newfound freedom. Yellow Jacket, always prepared.
Well, I'll tell you what, before you light it up, because we've got to hear it crackle before we get off the show, of course, I want to give you a compliment. 35 years in the business, I've seen and helped produce gazillions of marketing plans, from Ford Motor Company to Eastman Kodak, to long time in the business. Very professional, and the chick you chose for the voice is one of the finest I've heard as far as selling a product. I mean, she is so networked. I don't know who she is, or it's not important that we reveal it, but I'm telling you what, whoever was your producer and thought all this out, well shot, good depth of field, excellent presentation. You get your point across very well. Very nicely done.
Thank you. I appreciate that coming from you.
What does the product look like again? Let's hold the product up. And it's very simple to use. As you saw in the video, you just flip this part from the top down.
Yeah, so what you basically do is just flip this part right here. That's a cap. So the first question people ask is, is it safe? Yes, this cap's on here, and if you engage it, right, I can't hurt myself. Only when I take it down, then do the electrodes become exposed.
And how much power compared to a police taser does this have?
Great question.
1/4, what?
Right, so this is 650,000 volts. Right, and a police taser is 50,000 volts. Now you may say, okay, well ours is 10 times more powerful, but that's not exactly accurate. Our amperage is lower. We have 0.8 milliamps, whereas a police taser has more amperage. I'm not exactly sure how much. So this one is going to cause pain.
Right.
It's not going to throw someone against the wall like you see on the tasers, but that's why we're making a police version that can possibly do that in the future.
When you get that, we'd like you to come back and show it to us.
We'll demonstrate it on you, Dr. Fry.
Oh, thanks for being on the show. I appreciate it. I'll tell you what, it's time to get out of this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. It was definitely enlightening, and we hope wish him all the best to the company. You'll have to get out and get you one. Until next time, remember, you can have a better life, especially through Jesus Christ. See you on the next show.